Yo, what's going on? Uh, I'm making this video just to weigh in on the rarity and balance kind of situation. Everyone's talking about rarity like it's some terrible thing that's just a nuisance and no one can really use anything other than rarity. And I want to say that that is true for softcore mainly, but also the reason why it doesn't work so well right now in its current iteration is because everyone relates it to Diablo 2. And the reason why Diablo 2 works so well with magic find was because the game was entirely about magic finding. And since Path of Exile 2 is way more diverse, there's so much more of a variety in the end game, having rarity kind of diminishes from other aspects of the end game. And it really worked well in Diablo 2 because end game was just finding monsters and killing them and getting their loot. PoE 2 has so many other different things, mechanics, all the end game trees, the bossing, where rarity will only hurt your build versus these. And having it as a mandatory thing means you have to like switch. It makes it a whole new web. And with that said, I don't really care because right now I'm playing hardcore, right up here, hardcore, and I'm getting a decent level going on. And now my gear is getting to a point where I'm finding I have a good base set of gear, and now I can start adding rarity. And it's actually a lot of fun doing it like this because it's in hardcore, you can't sacrifice your crucial survivability to allow you just to find items because if your character dies, it's a lot more expensive to have to remake the character because you didn't stack enough rarity. And if it was somehow implemented like this kind of playstyle into softcore, I think it would work a lot better, but I don't know how that would ever be possible because it's just softcore to me is always about finding the biggest exploit in the farming divines or killing the boss the fastest with one shot with zero survivability. And I think the game should be more balanced from a hardcore perspective and let softcore just be a fiesta of exploiting, which I know isn't popular and you want them to have fun too. But I think there's a balance to find there. But I think how I'm doing it is how most hardcore players are doing. No one's sacrificing their crucial survivability for rarity. And then adding it on, I think I have like 60, 50 something rarity now. And it's just like, it's just fun now. Like it's just, yeah, it's, I think the way this is, it's not like I'm doing some groundbreaking exploit. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like a good time. And yeah, I think yeah, and the builds you can't make these crazy zoomy builds in hardcore because most of the time they lack survivability. So hardcore is just I know there's some broken things like Grim Feast where people can just take advantage of that and that's pretty but that's just balanced. But ultimately most hardcore builds aren't some game breaking build that only one player wants to play. There's a much more I feel much more diverse builds going around. But yeah, that's my take. I think Rarity's fine. It's just how it's implemented, and everyone relates to Diablo 2, but they never talk about how Diablo 2, the base game, is just magic finding. It's not like there's some Ubers and stuff, but it's I think that's a small part of the game. Where magic finding and killing bosses like Diablo, Meph runs, Bale even. That's in cows. You want magic find for all that which is 99% of the game, or 90%, and 10% is Ubers. Where Magic Find, even right there, that's where Magic Find kind of becomes a burden because you need a gear swap and all this stuff. And so if you iterated more systems like Path of Exile 2 has, so many different systems where Magic Find is kind of useless. It becomes just more like a burden. And right now it's not. It needs some tweaking even. But I think, yeah, the way it is, kind of how it plays out in hardcore is like kind of I think how the developers intended it to be, but not how in softcore. It's just I don't know what to do about that. And there's some skill balance. I'm sure it's all gonna come, but yeah, I just wanted to chime in because I don't think I think people everyone's saying remove it because they don't truly understand why it's what makes it good, what makes it fun. They just see it as a burden because I don't think they really played Diablo 2. That to the point where they understood the whole reason for having Magic Find Diablo 2. Because it's just all around a good thing in D2, and there's mods of D2 where it's like Path or Project Diablo 2, and there's Path of Diablo, but PD2 is the main one now, and Rarity eventually falls off in that game, where it's like you run maps and all you want is high runes, and Rarity doesn't affect high runes. But yeah, okay, I'm just going off a tangent, but yeah, that's it. Just yeah, yeah. I think Rarity's good. It's just how people use it, and I wouldn't balance it for softcore. Softcore balance is a mess right now. Hardcore things are a little more tame, and I think that's the way it should be focused. But yeah. Anyway, hope you're doing well. This is a great game. I think it's amazing. I give this 9 out of 10. It's the best, literally the best ARPG out to date. And the one that comes in second is Path of Exile 1. I think this beats Path of Exile 1. But yeah, good stuff. See you later. Peace out.